Roy Robertson-Harris, you are a New York Football Giant. Joe Schoen goes out and signs a depth piece at the defensive tackle position early on in day one of free agency. The contract details here at the moment is a 2-year deal. Could be up to $10 million, but it sounds like it's more of a 2-year deal worth $9 million. Last year, the New York Giants, outside of Dexter Lawrence, and after that Dexter Lawrence injury, were one of the worst defensive tackle groups in the National Football League. And that is why the New York Giants had one of the worst rushing defenses in the National Football League. But now you add a guy who I think will be nothing more than a depth piece and a rotational player, but you get a legit NFL talent at that spot. And we know this defensive tackle class heading into the NFL draft here in less than a month, a little bit over from a month away, is one of the best D tackle classes we have seen in quite some time. So I don't think the New York Giants are even remotely close to being done at that D tackle position. Roy Robertson-Harris will add depth. You're still looking for a starter next to Dexter Lawrence, but if you draft a rookie with Dexter Lawrence and your two immediate backups are Roy Robertson-Harris and Raheem Nunez-Roches, that is a much better position group than you had last year. And when you talk about Robertson-Harris and what he does in the National Football League, no stats are going to blow you away with that. And we'll talk about some stats coming up in a second and what he's done, as he is a 31-year-old veteran and spent times with two teams last year. I want to hear from you. Grade the signing of Roy Robertson-Harris down in the comment section. Give me an A, give me a B, give me a C. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. 2 years, $9 million, $4.5 million per year. It's a C plus for me. You didn't overpay. You're not getting the best player in the world. You're adding someone that is a depth piece at this point. So that would be my grade on that. In his NFL career, he started by playing 4 years for the Chicago Bears from 2017 to 2020. Then he spent 3 years, 2021, 2022, and 2023 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then midway from last year, he moved on from the Jags to the Seattle Seahawks. In the 17 game, another thing that I really like about this signing, 17 games played in 2024, 17 games played in 2023, 17 games played in 2022. So you're adding a player who has played 17 games in 3 straight seasons. In 2021, 2022, and 2023, he started over 34 games started in back-to-back years in 2023 and 2022, and then he goes out and starts 13 games in 2021. In the 17 games he played last year, 2 sacks, 20 tackles, 10 assisted tackles with 4 tackles for loss. This is someone, again, it's not a sexy signing. It's just not. It is what it is. It's a depth piece for the New York Football Giants. His PFF grades last year, 52.8 overall on the defensive side, a 56.6 when it comes to run defense, and a 54.6 when it comes to pass rushing. He had 16 total pressures, 3 QB hits, 11 QB hurries. He also had 12 stops, which is actually a pretty decent number for the amount of tackles in games that he played last year. 6'5", 290 pounds, and he's 31 years old. So a depth piece that you're adding at defensive tackle to be a part of a rotation with Raheem Nunez-Roches, DJ Davidson, and hopefully a player that you select early on in the NFL draft. We're going to recap the rest of free agency for the New York Giants, and we'll give you an update on Aaron Rodgers as well, as we're getting some juice on that front. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are actually live here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports with over 3,500 people watching. We've been live now for over 4.5 hours, and we've already seen 34,000 people tune in. So if you want the best live Giants coverage on YouTube after you watch this video, come join us live right now. Let's kind of recap where the New York Giants are at in NFL free agency. Then we'll talk a little Aaron Rodgers. They did bring back Tommy DeVito. Well, Tommy DeVito signed that 1-year deal to return. They made a move for Jamie Gillen. They go out and they sign and bring back Chris Manhertz. And the move of the day, Paulson Adebo signing a 3-year, $54 million deal with $36 million guaranteed. I had Paulson Adebo as my number 1 tier 2 corner in the NFL free agency cycle. Sounds like I was a little down on him to put him in tier 2. I'm a big fan of him. I like his game. You can go back and find a video on the channel this summer where I talked about the New York Giants should trade for Paulson Adebo. 25 years old, over the last 2 years at the top of the league in forced incompletions as well as pass breakups and interceptions. He is coming off a broken femur. That's something to monitor, but I think he's going to be healthy and ready to go. He's already posted videos on social media of him doing backflips and things of that such. So the injuries are not really a worry for me at this point with Paulson Adebo. When you talk about what other corners are getting, like Carlton Davis, 3 years, $60 million, and DJ Reed signing for a $16 million average annual value, this signing is good. What I like about it is the Giants are more so paying Paulson Adebo for what he can do as a 25-year-old safety down the line, and compared to what you've done. I don't like the idea of paying older players always. I know I want to pay Aaron Rodgers because he's the best quarterback out there. Situation doesn't really apply, but a 25-year-old corner, best days ahead of him, I'm a big fan. Let's talk Rodgers in a second, but let's talk about the guy that should be catching passes from Aaron Rodgers next year. That is Malik Neighbors. Go to chatsports.com/neighbors, chatsports.com/neighbors. Get your Malik Neighbors jersey today. All of that information will be clickable down in the comments and the description of today's show. Rodgers is the domino that everybody is waiting to fall at this point. It sounds like the New York Giants are still in on Rodgers. Lead NFL analyst for The Athletic, Jeff Howe, says it's down to 2 teams. Rodgers looking at the Steelers as well as the New York Football Giants. From all the Twitter speculation, it kind of sounds like Aaron Rodgers is leaning towards the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we have heard no official juice on that. We're also hearing now that Russell Wilson and the Tennessee Titans have interest in getting a deal. If you can't grab Rodgers and you can't grab Wilson and you already struck out on Matthew Stafford, that's not really ideal for Mr. Joe Schoen. I think at this point, it's Aaron Rodgers or bust. I would rather overpay Aaron Rodgers at this point than have Russell Wilson at the quarterback position. Do you want Aaron Rodgers with the New York Giants? If you do, type 12. If you want Russell Wilson, type 3 down in the comment section. Let me know which quarterback you want to see playing for the New York Giants next year. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Give me a follow on Twitter. Roy Robertson-Harris, you are a New York Football Giant.